also a second generation minister. Her mother, Margaret, trained back in the day with Reverend Ken Nowaczewski and the other ministers here at the Center of Enlightenment. So now, please welcome Reverend Gina Hampton to the podium.
Thank you, everybody. Hard to keep a dry eye in the house in this place today. So, thank you all for being here on this beautiful Sunday on Father's Day. And I had an awesome weekend with my kids. I actually had to leave early to rush here. So thank you, Spirit, for making sure that things ran on time. So this is the first time I've actually given a sermon on Father's Day. And I thank my spirits for getting that done on time, because something always happens and I'm always running late. I have realized that I have started my own traditions by giving a short history lesson about my topics. So my best friend and I we got busy, and we found this information on Wikipedia and other sites. So Father's Day is a holiday honoring one's father or relevant father figure, and as well as fatherhood, paternal bonds, and the influence of fathers in society. On July the 5th, 1908, a West Virginia church sponsored a nation's first event explicitly in honor of fathers. A Sunday sermon in memory of 362 men who had died in the previous December's explosions at the Fairmont Coal Company mines. It was a one-time commemoration. It's amazing the stuff you find on Google. I had no idea. In 1908, Grace Golden Clayton proposed the day to honor those men who had died in the mining accident. And at that time, it still wasn't accepted. 1909, Samora Smart Dodd, one of 6 children raised by a widower, tried to establish an official equivalent to Mother's Day for male parents. After hearing a Mother's Day sermon, she thought about all the things that her father had done for her and her siblings. So she went to the local churches, the YMCA, storekeepers, and government officials to drum up support for her idea, and she was finally successful. In Washington State, they celebrated the nation's first statewide Father's Day on June the 19th, 1910. Slowly, the holiday spread. Whether to celebrate this day worldwide or not remained a debatable topic. And they also were saying that Mother's Day is more sentimental than a Father's Day would be, but they finally figured out how to make money off of Father's Day, so that was probably part of the reason. In 1916, President Wilson honored the day, and in 1924, President Coolidge urged the state governments to observe Father's Day. 1972, finally, Richard Nixon signed a proclamation making it a federal holiday. Thank you. Father's Day is held on various dates across the world, and different regions maintain their own traditions of honoring fatherhood. Some Catholic countries of Europe celebrate on March the 19th as St. Joseph's Day. Many other countries celebrate on November the 19th as Father's Day and/or International Men's Day, which is also celebrated in honor of both men and boys. While I was doing my Google searches, I thought, let me see what the Bible has to say about Father's Day. So I found this one in particular. This verse just kept coming up. Colossians 3:21. Fathers, provoke not your children, lest they be discouraged. How powerful is that? What exactly does that mean? Do not cause your children to become resentful. The idea is that stirring up or causing problems for your child Unfairness and aggression in particular are to be avoided. Fathers are not to be problem makers for their children, but rather providers and examples for their sons and their daughters. How powerful is that? Fathers, you have a big job, a lot of weight weighing on your shoulders there. So whether you're a dad, an uncle, a brother, a grandpa, or even moms who are dads, anyone who is a father figure. I say this all the time. Parents, we make mistakes. We're not perfect. Forgive yourself and put one foot in front of the other. We can do this. Let's take a minute and think about your parents. Were they perfect? Probably not. Or did they make mistakes? I think we all want to say yes to that question. Now let's take a minute and think about you as a parent. Are we perfect? No. And do we make mistakes? Yeah, most definitely. Forgiveness is my word for you today. My gift to you is forgiveness. It's life-changing. You need to forgive yourselves because we are not perfect. Maybe some of you are thinking, oh, well, my father wasn't a good dad, or maybe your father was absent. Well, I'm sorry that you went through that. Pray for him. Let that hurt go and try to forgive. Because if you hang on to all that stuff, law of attraction will tell you that you're just going to pull all that negative stuff to yourself. Forgiveness is for yourself. My dad passed away a few years back, and as I look through the years, he made mistakes. Yes, he did. Did those mistakes hurt me or make me angry? Yeah, sometimes. I tried to learn from those mistakes so I didn't make them with my own kids. Sound familiar? Now, did I ever do anything that made my dad mad? Of course. Did I ever do anything that might have hurt him? Probably, not meaning to, but you know how we are as kids. So, did we stay mad at each other? Did we disown each other? No. Forgiveness. Through the years, and I had my dad for over 50, we had ups and downs, and yes, we forgave each other. As we did that, the good thing is that the love between father and daughter just grew and grew. My dad was a good man, had some crazy ideas, but he had my back every day. So in my youth, I called him Dad, and in my adult life, I called him Pops. And in his golden years, we called him Gramps. So I'm blessed to have had a great dad. You know me, I love to tell family stories. Are you all familiar with the Babalo boat? Okay, if you're not, the Babalo boat was a ferry that would take you over to the Babalo Island amusement park. So I was like knee-high to a grasshopper. I wasn't very big, and the whole family was on this little boat ride. And I remember that I got scared during the ride. And as I was looking around, of course, all I can see are legs. I got so scared, I just wrapped both of my arms around my dad's leg and closed my eyes and held on tight. I was holding on for dear life. And all of a sudden I hear my dad going, Gina, Gina. He said it a couple times. I finally looked up at him. He says, honey, could you please let go of the man's leg? I had the wrong dad leg. I'm sure I must have busted out crying by that point. I was so scared, right? So they're all laughing and they're trying to calm me down. It's okay, you know. My dad took me by the hand and he just held my hand until the end of that boat ride and just made me feel safe and secure. So that's one of those memories that I'll hang on to for the rest of my life. I have a few Father's Day quotes that I pulled off the internet. I found rather amazing and amusing. The first one: when my father didn't have my hand, he had my back. And that was by Linda Poindexter. Think about these as I say them. Behind every great daughter is a truly amazing father. Unknown on that one. My father gave me dreams, and thanks to him, I could see a future. Liza Minnelli. It is a wise father that knows his own child. William Shakespeare. You can tell what was the best year of your father's life because they seem to freeze that clothing style and they write it out. That was Jerry Seinfeld. I picture my dad, bless his heart, he was 77 years old and still wearing Speedos when we went to the beach. So by the time a man realizes that maybe his father was right, he usually has a son who thinks he was wrong. That was by Charles Wadworth. Dad, a son's first hero and a daughter's first love, and that was unknown. Fathers just have a way of putting everything together. Erica Cosby. So Father's Day is not just about celebrating, it is also to honor and acknowledge anyone who is a father. So keep up your Father Day traditions, okay? And think about all the good times and the good things that you want to carry forward. Pick up the phone and call your dad, or if your dad's calling you, pick up the phone. To quote one of my favorite songs, Till You Can't by Cody Johnson. So before I read these words, I just want you to think about not just your mom or your dad, maybe it's your brother, your sister, or just a family member. Just kind of think about those people as I read these words to you from one of my favorite songs. So take that phone call from your mama and just talk away, because you never know how bad you wanna till you can't someday. Don't wait on tomorrow, because tomorrow may not show. Say your sorries, I love you, because man, you never know. If you got a chance, take it. Take it while you have a chance. If you got a dream, chase it, because a dream can't chase you back. If you're gonna love somebody, hold them as long and as strong as you can until you can't. Thank you, everybody, for allowing me to serve, and have a beautiful Father's Day. Thank you.